Today, we're going to dive into a story. But look, this isn't just any old tale. It's more like a blueprint for understanding the weird and wonderful ways our own minds work.
It's this incredible, ancient story from Baghdad, passed down for generations, and hidden inside it is a really powerful secret. And that secret is the key to mastering the 5 mental traps that, let's be honest, hold so many of us back from thinking clearly. Okay, let's get into it. So our story kicks off one evening in ancient Baghdad, right on the banks of the Tigris River. An unexpected discovery is about to set a very, very deadly clock in motion. Okay, so you've got this poor fisherman. He's had a terrible day, caught absolutely nothing. So he casts his net one last time, hoping for anything, and he feels this massive weight. He hauls it in, and it's not a fish, it's a heavy, sealed golden chest. He's thinking, this is it, this is my lucky day, and decides the right thing to do is take this incredible treasure to the caliph, a guy named Harun al-Rashid, who's known for being a fair ruler. So he gets to the palace, the chest is brought before the caliph, and everyone's buzzing with excitement. The guards pry it open, and as the lid lifts, the whole court just goes silent. There's no gold, no jewels. Inside is the body of a beautiful young woman. The caliph is absolutely furious. I mean, how could a murder this bold happen right under his nose? In this fit of rage, he turns to his most trusted advisor, his vizier, Jafar, and gives him a completely impossible command. Find the killer in 3 days, or you'll be executed instead.
And just like that, the clock is ticking. Jafar is scrambling, scouring the entire city. Day 1 passes, nothing. No leads, no witnesses. Day 2, you can feel the desperation kicking in, but the city is just silent. By the morning of the 3rd day, Jafar has basically accepted his fate. His time is up, and it looks like his execution is certain.
But then, right as the execution is about to happen, a voice cuts through the crowd. A young man rushes forward, screaming that he's the murderer, and he starts to tell this unbelievable story of incredible love and just devastating rage.
He's a young merchant, and he claims he's the one the caliph's been looking for. He stands there, in front of the whole court, ready to explain everything. He tells the caliph that his wife, the love of his life, had fallen mysteriously ill. The doctors were useless, she was fading away, and, in a weak voice, asked for one thing, a legendary golden apple from the city of Basra, which was said to cure anything. So this guy, he sells everything he owns, goes on this dangerous journey, and spends his very last coin to buy the last 3 golden apples in existence. He rushes home, gives one to his wife, and, it's a miracle, she starts to recover. But then, the very next day, he's walking through the market, and he just freezes. He sees a slave just casually holding one of those exact same, impossibly rare golden apples. He runs over and demands to know where he got it. Now this right here, this is where everything goes horribly wrong. The slave, just trying to sound important, kind of smiles and says, "Oh, my beloved gave it to me." But the merchant doesn't actually hear those words. What he hears in his head is a confession. It's confirmation of his deepest, darkest fear. He immediately assumes the worst. His wife has a lover. She betrayed him. His incredible sacrifice, it all meant nothing. And it's right there, in that huge gap between what was actually said and what he assumed, that this awful tragedy was born. He storms home, completely blinded by rage. He sees that only 2 apples are left. He confronts his wife, who is confused and terrified. She denies everything, but he doesn't listen. In his fury, he kills her. And just as she takes her final breath, his young son runs into the room, crying his eyes out. And through his tears, the boy confesses. He says, "Father, I'm so sorry. I took one of the apples to show my friend, but a thief snatched it from me and ran off." In that one instant, the merchant's entire world just collapses. His wife, she was innocent. Moved and, frankly, horrified by this story, the caliph spares the merchant, but he gives Jafar a new task: find that slave. So Jafar searches for another 3 days. He comes home totally defeated, only to see the golden apple in his own daughter's hands. And then it all comes out. It was his slave, a man named Rihan, who had stolen the apple from the merchant's son, and he told that lie, "My beloved gave it to me," for one simple reason: to impress Jafar's daughter. That small, seemingly meaningless lie had led directly to a murder.
So, this is the really crucial point. This isn't just a sad story. It's a parable, a blueprint that contains 5 incredibly powerful lessons for mastering our own minds. Okay, so these are the 5 lessons that are hidden inside this tragedy. Number 1, don't make assumptions. Number 2, don't take things personally. 3, be impeccable with your words. 4, tolerate uncertainty. And finally, number 5, act, don't overthink. All right, lesson 1, don't make assumptions. I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? The entire tragedy kicked off because the merchant filled in the gaps of what he knew with the absolute worst possible story he could imagine. Instead of seeking clarity, instead of just asking his wife a simple question, he assumed betrayal and acted on it.
Second lesson, don't take things personally. Think about the Caliph. He's supposed to be this wise and just ruler, but he orders his best friend, Jafar, to be executed. Why? Because his ego was wounded. He saw the murder as a personal insult to his rule. He made the situation about him, and it almost cost an innocent man his life. Lesson 3 is so important. Be impeccable with your words. The slave, Rehan, told a small, what he thought was a harmless lie just to impress a girl. He had no idea, no conception of the power that his words carried. He didn't know he was talking to the one person on earth for whom that specific lie would be absolutely devastating.
I mean, think about that. His simple, casual lie literally became a murder weapon. It just goes to show you that our words have real weight, real power. We have a responsibility to use them with integrity. And that brings us to the last 2 lessons, which are really tied together. Learn to tolerate uncertainty and choose to act instead of overthinking. See, the merchant couldn't handle the discomfort of the doubt that was planted in his mind. So instead of just sitting with that uncertainty for a minute, he let it fester. He overthought this negative story until it became his reality, which led to a destructive, violent act. You know what a better, constructive action would have been? The simplest one. Go home and just ask his wife a question. Which really brings us to the final, crucial question we should all ask ourselves. When you face uncertainty, when there are gaps in your knowledge, what's the story that you're telling yourself? And more importantly, have you ever stopped to ask if it's actually true?